Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome back to this new video on XRP. We're going to do a full update again. We'll talk about the technicals. Technicals have been able to hold up relatively well here, so that's a good thing. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I also wanted to spend some time talking about the fundamentals, some recent news with XRP that might make the price move, or at least have an influence on the price. Maybe not short term. I don't think that there's any news at this point of time that we at least know of that can make the price move short term, but long term it does matter. So that's what we'll talk about. So let's get right into it. Most of you already know the deal. First of all, Ripple RLUSD, so the Ripple stablecoin, no major changes there. I talked about that, I think, somewhere in the weekend, of course, that we had some major mints coming in over the course of last week. That's still bullish, obviously, long term, but at this point of time, like I said, it's been relatively stable. I think right now they have like a $317 million market cap, so that's pretty good, of course. But only growth matters, and then preferably we'd see some significant growth. And then outside of that, obviously, tomorrow we have some XRP tracker funds launching, right? So from ProShares, what we also got the news on Sunday, where a lot of people thought this was the normal ETF. They're launching the Ultra XRP ETF, a short XRP ETF, and an ultra short XRP ETF. This is most likely not going to affect the price, right? Because these are futures contracts, so they're not buying or selling the underlying assets. They're buying and selling the contract for the assets. And they're not redeemable, right? I mean, even I think even the Bitcoin ETF and the Ethereum ETFs are not redeemable, right? So therefore, it's not it's not a major effect, and in this case, it also like they do not buy real XRP. Now, long term, again, like I said, extra activity, extra trading, and just in general more brand recognition and name recognition. That's definitely bullish, but that's not going to rally the price up, right? But ultimately, taking a look at the technicals here for XRP, the technicals have still been pretty good. Yesterday, obviously, we had some bearish pressure. But what we talked about in the video yesterday as well, is, as long as we're holding this level right here at 2.25 and 2.3, we're fine. Similar for Bitcoin, that level was 93.6. So yesterday throughout the afternoon, we had quite a lot of bearish pressure, but ultimately the support levels held, right? And you can see right now we're losing some open interest, but that's also not the end of the world. We're losing some momentum here. That's not bad, as long as you're holding support, right? And our last support right here is 2.25. So at this point of time, given the way that Bitcoin is looking, which is quite stable, I would say it is still most likely that we will hold 2.25. Although I have to say that I would prefer to see some momentum come in for XRP relatively soon, right? So over the course of the weekend, we had quite a lot of momentum, obviously because of that news, but also on Monday, we got a new influx of momentum with both spot volume, but also leveraged open interest coming in. And if we keep losing that momentum both in spot volume and in leverage volume, I'm not certain if 2.25 is going to be able to hold for a long time, right? So short term, I still do think that we'll be able to hold that level. We'll be able to find a stability here, and that we will still, hopefully, if we actually do get some sort of momentum, that we can still rally into that main resistance level, which we've been talking about, I think, for weeks now, between 2.41 and 2.46. So that's what I still think is most likely, but I will definitely keep you updated on this as often as I can. And like I said, I mean, if we do get some sort of a major downturn today, and we break down below 2.25, then this is invalidated, and it's much more likely we'll drop down to that other POC area towards 2.15. But those are my thoughts. I think that's what you need to know for now. Like I said, I'll keep you updated on this in new videos, but also on my X page. So make sure to follow me there at cilinixcrypto. For now, though, that's it. So have a great day. Take care and bye.